Blog Talk Radio.
What time is it?
WH Radio.
We are the best in the world at what we do.
Welcome back to WrestlingHeads Radio. It's me, Oscar, filling in for Skits tonight. He's out there doing the Dodger game. Joining me now, I got Mr. ROH Code himself, Chris. What's going on, Chris?
I'm just pumped up for tonight. Jazzed up.
Yeah, I'm sure you're pumped up tonight because I am pumped up tonight because we have a special guest here tonight. And before I introduce our special guest, you've probably seen him in the WWE and TNA. He was known as Spanky. He's a former WWE Tag Champ and a former X Division champ. I know. Slap me in the face there. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I like to call him the Brian Kendrick. What's going on, Brian?
Hey, guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me, Oscar. Thanks for having me, Chris. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on, man. We're glad to have you on, and we thank you, spending your time with us, and, let's get the show on the road, yeah? All right, before we start asking you questions, we're going to let our listeners know, if you guys have any questions for Brian Kendrick, you guys could tweet us at WrestlingHeads, or you can call us at 760-454-1107. All right, Brian, I know you're here to talk about your school. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Bell Gardens, California, that's the location of your school, right?
Yeah, it's at the Santino Bros gym, which is kind of a hub for a lot of local wrestling here in Los Angeles. So Joey Chaos and Jezebel have been kind enough to let me train out of there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I've been there plenty of times. I like that place, and I also see you guys throw down shows too, just like Santino's does, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. We run a promotion that was inspired by my students. We call it Wrestling Pro Wrestling, just because, I thought the name would be funny. And so yeah, we've run a few shows, but this will be the first show I'm actually wrestling on myself. It's gonna be my birthday, so my treat to myself is to wrestle Che Guevara, who's a really fantastic young wrestler in the area. So since I'm booking, I booked myself against him because I wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, yes. I think we had Joey Ryan on a few months back, and he was mentioning that he was going to be in this show. It was Pro Wrestling Pro, and it was back, I think you guys had it in the old Pappy Panda Dome, right? You guys used to run shows there. It was still Wrestling Pro Wrestling,
but watch out for the Pro Wrestling Pro guys, because there's something in the works of them being our version of the NWO, the anti-wrestling pro wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Will be the Pro Wrestling Pro guys. Yeah, sooner or later they'll make their appearance.
Yeah. You know about that? I remember Joey was on the show mentioning about your show, and I guess he was mentioning he had a match with Che Cabrera back then, and he highly praised Che Cabrera, and then he always says watch out for this guy, and I actually believe him. So, and you're going to have a match with him in the end of the month. So, I'm interested to check this out.
Well, thanks, man. I think he's got a bright future. I think hopefully he'll go on to make lots and lots of money in this business.
Yeah, definitely. Chris, you got a question for Brian?
Yeah, and I go across country quite a bit to go to PWG, and one of my goals is to go to a Santino Brothers show, possibly this year. I really, really love this shit. My first question is, you've worked all over this planet, and you've worked with practically everyone in this business. And you've also worked with countless promoters from the smallest level to working for Vince. My question is, with all that knowledge you've gained, either positive or negative, what is the main thing you've implemented in your training or advice you offer aspiring wrestlers?
I mean, I guess ultimately it's up to them to put in as much hard work as they possibly can, and they know the answers. That'd be the long and the short of it. A more long-winded way of putting that is wherever you are, get the most out of what you can right there. So ask as many questions as you can. Work as hard as you can. If you're sick, keep working. If you're hurt, keep working. If you're tired, keep working. If you've exhausted one area, you get up and move and go somewhere else and keep learning. And then when you've done all that, if you haven't gotten where you wanted to go, you can't blame yourself. You just keep on working, and hopefully good things will come because the universe is good.
Keep pushing.
That's
pushing
it.
through adversity. That's it, man. And then that's the way that's the way it should be, man. It's refreshing to know that the trainers like you are out there, and people go, take advantage of this. You know what I'm saying? It's good, Oscar.
Yeah, I want to ask him more about his school here. I know you were trained by Shawn Michaels, and I'm sure he gave you advices and such, and probably lectures while you're training. Do you do the same route that Shawn Michaels taught you in your classes?
I've implemented a lot of the stuff, the same warm-up stuff, the same schedule more or less. But I've been lucky enough to start being, I was trained by him initially, but then I got to move on and was trained by William Regal and Tracy Smothers and Robbie Brookside, and as well as my coach at Sean's school, Rudy Boy Gonzalez. And then I've been lucky enough to go spend time in Japan, and on top of that, I've been to places like WWE and made mistakes, and so I get to teach the kids. They get to learn from my mistakes, and hopefully, when it comes time to when they're at that fork in the road to choose between two different things, they'll learn from where I've picked the wrong path and pick the right one, so they can be a bigger success than I was.
Yeah, because if I ever wanted to be a pro wrestler, if I want to choose that route, you'll be first one that I'll look into if I want to attend a school or not. So because seeing your resume, I would love to learn from you, because you've been there to the WWE and that you know how the road stories and all that stuff. I would love to learn anything from you if I wanted to go that path. And hopefully, someone that's listening, if that's your dream, want to be a pro wrestler, and this guy right here can help you. If WWE is in your dream, that you want to be there one day. Yeah, why not learn from the guy who's been there?
Well, thanks. And along with the actual training, I guess what I try to specialize in, as far as where I try to differentiate myself from the rest, is I try to focus on the storytelling aspect of it. I guess my way of looking at it, I suppose, is a little different, and I try to teach my students how to pull emotions out of the fans. That's, to me, the real trick and art of pro wrestling, is to hook people, just like when you go to a magic show and you know it's fake, but you go in there open-minded and you're dazzled by the end of it. That's what I want from the fans, is for them to forget that they're watching a fake show and for them to yell and scream, even though they're adults, and feel silly about it otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. How can our listeners get info, just in case they want to sign up for your school?
So I got a buddy who helps me run a website. It's just briankendrick.net. Or if they just want to email me directly, bkschoolofpw@gmail.com.
All right, cool. Hope you guys should listen. Hope you write that down and get all the info you can if you want to learn from someone who was in the WWE and TNA. So hope you guys get that info down, and yeah. All right, go ahead, Chris.
And again, refreshing, because that's kind of, to reiterate what you were saying, storylines. It's kind of what's really missing, especially in the indie scene. And the fact that you're teaching that and showing the importance of that, that makes me feel, great of the future. You know what I mean? Because the storylines, like you said, drag you in, man. And it just seems like there should be more of that. And like I said, it's refreshing to know that there are great people out there like you telling people that's the way to go. But since you became a trainer, what gives you more joy, individual achievements or watching your students achieve their goals?
I mean, it's two different things, but really I found myself to be really enjoying the training on a whole different level and probably a greater level. I had this student, Desi, who came in and for the first few months was struggling with forward rolls. And now he's doing it, but when he went out there and wrestled his match, a kid who never had support from his parents, you just wouldn't assume he'd go out there and connect with the fans or anything, but he did, and the people love him, and he knows how to tell a story in the ring. He knows how to get people to care for him, and then how to fire up at just the right time, even though he's hurting, and I don't know, the smile. I'm smiling again just thinking about how he did just a few weeks ago.
Coming into his own.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, coming into his own.
Good.
All right. Well, I actually got a tweet right now. He actually asked two questions that wanted me to ask you. It's from sorry if I mispronounce your name, at Dynamite Dude 420. If I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry, but I think your name is Mario. Okay, the first question was to ask you, before you got released from the WWE, is it true that you were supposed to tag team with Daniel Bryan?
Well, what happened is this, they had me cut a promo saying I was going to find the perfect partner, and then so I asked them who's the perfect partner, and they said, we don't know. They just had me cut the promo. And so I called up Brian Danielson, who's now Daniel Bryan, and told him the situation and asked him to consider flying up to San Jose, California, which is going to be the following week. And eventually, by the end of the conversation, he agreed to do it and flew up to San Jose. Took him around to the different writers, and Johnny Ace, who's the head of talent. And a lot of people spoke up for him. Apparently, Edge and John Cena had both spoke to John Laurinaitis. Neither one of them told me this, but I heard it through the grapevine that said, you got to hire this kid. But as the story goes, the McMahons saw him as just a everyday Joe that wouldn't be marketable, so they didn't see anything in him. And ultimately, he set the world on fire in pro wrestling. But we never actually did get a team. He wound up getting hired after I was fired, but I think he would have been hired sooner or later anyways, just because those who watch independent wrestling or, wrestling from abroad absolutely loved him. I think he was Dave Meltzer's, technical wrestler of the year or whatnot for, 7 years in a row or something. So he already had that great reputation. Yeah, definitely. And it would be nice to see you guys paired because you guys have history, and it'd be cool that you guys paired, So. And fun. Go ahead.
Yeah, it would have been really fun. I'm going to ask you his next question. It doesn't relate to wrestling, but he wants me to ask you what you think of the marijuana laws of today.
I don't like any laws. I think laws are unnecessary. I think police are unnecessary. I think there was a time before, back in the cowboy days, where we had vigilante justice, Vigilantism has gotten a bad reputation, but the thing is if you did something that the community felt was wrong, that the community would handle it. And so if, let's say, you stole somebody's cows, the rest of the community, the upstanding citizens, would band together and go string up that cow rustler. And so it would, I don't think that there was nearly as much theft, because now you can't kill somebody for being a thief. And at the same time, if vigilantes aren't going to care what you do in your house, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. So I'm opposed to laws in general. I think that the community wouldn't stand for people hurting kids, for people damaging property or anything violent or against women or men. I think if there was no laws, that there would be less violence in the world.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to give a shout-out to Mario. Just thank you for sending your questions, and thank you for listening as well. And I'm going to ask you my next question, which relates to Brian Danielson, or you know him as. I believe your first match was with the American Dragon, Brian Danielson, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I went to a wrestling school before that, but the truth is I count my time as a pro wrestler as starting with that match. So, yeah, that would be the first match, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, what's your thoughts of him today? Just recently won the WWE World Heavyweight title at the biggest show, WrestleMania, which, you know, guys like Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and John Cena, you know, they had that moment, and he's on that list. And also your mentor, Shawn Michaels. How do you feel that, you know, he's on that list, joining with those guys?
I think it's great. I think it's a testament to hard work paying off. I think it also, for whatever reason, the people took to him. I mean, the reason I would say to him is because he's a fantastic wrestler. But I guess the people saw that, the people connected with him, and ultimately the people's voice was heard. And just as being a guy who broke in with him and having had so many wrestling matches with him, it's super exciting. It's an inspiration to other wrestlers out there on the indies that can show them that hell, there's a chance for everybody out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to have Chris to freeze for a sec, but yes.
What's that?
No, I was like, go ahead, Chris, if you have another question.
Okay. My question is, do you prefer a kayfabe world of professional wrestling, or does the current model where the curtain has been lifted and mostly everything is exposed is just fine?
I mean, I think at this point, there's no putting the rabbit back into the hat, you know? Mm-hmm. People already know, so to try to convince them that it's that this angle, in fact, is real is silly. But I think people also know that movies are fake, but they go and watch them just the same. What does bother me is that those who don't watch wrestling will turn a nose up to it by saying, you know, trying to remind fans that it's fake. But of course fans know it's fake. You know, these fans could turn back and say, you know, the Boston bombing was fake, but you're stupid enough to believe it hook, line, and sinker. I watch pro wrestling knowing John Cena isn't really fighting, but I'm watching it for entertainment. All this stuff that people watch, King of Thrones is fake, but nobody reminds people, you know, that show is fake, and looks down on them for watching something that is fake. So I guess that's a long-winded way of saying I don't mind that it's been exposed. I just mind that people use that against wrestling fans.
So, and almost anything falls in that category, like you're saying. Even news falls in that category. How they report the news on any subject.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the format they choose to use for that specific day.
And even if it's real, it's to push an agenda.
Yes. And of course ratings. Which and obviously political reasons, and that obviously ties everyone's head in knots. And we could probably go on for 2 hours on that alone. But go ahead, Oscar, before I get going with that stuff.
It's cool, man. Next question I want to ask. You know what? I asked Paul London this a few months back when we had him here, but he doesn't remember what I'm about to ask you right now. But I remember I checked. I was at that No Way Out pay-per-view at the Staples Center when you and Paul were the WWE Tag Champs. And it was actually advertised to have a 4-way TLC match between you and Paul, the Hardys, Deuce and Domino, and I believe the 14th was Regal and Dave Taylor. And somehow that match got scratched, and I was like, what the hell? And it ended up being you guys against Deuce and Domino. And I was actually looking forward to that match. I was like, what? It just, out of the blue, just scratched. What happened there, if you can remember?
All I know is the match that we actually had for a ladder match wasn't advertised as a ladder match, and then they were going to have another one that they just pulled. The reason behind it is who knows. I don't think a whole lot of thought was put into it, and whoever would have suggested it, if they were overridden by a higher up, I don't think they were going to fight too hard for it. And so my guess is they had bigger fish to fry, and we were small little minnows.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is no lie, though, okay? I actually won a bet from you guys. Thanks for you guys. You guys made me win $20 because I bet a friend of mine that he thought Deuce and Domino were going over. I'm like, no, Kendrick and Brian. But trust me, because they thought, they're new, they're the hottest tag team. They're going to walk out with the tag belts. Nope. So I did win $20. Thanks for you guys.
Glad to be of service.
Thanks for the $20. All right, go ahead.
You got it.
You should owe him. You should owe him half that. Since we're talking about that. Since we're talking about that last interview with Paul last year, when we interviewed him, I asked him this question: has it ever been presented from a promoter to have a program with yourself and Brian in a heated feud angle? And would you consider it if the opportunity came up? And then Paul went into a great story about how Chris Benoit actually discussed this very subject with you two and truly believed in both of you at the highest degree. Is there anything you want to add to that, or how was it to have a guy like Chris take you under his wing at that stage in your career?
I first, met up with Chris when he was recovering from neck surgery. He was in Cincinnati, and I'd been fired from developmental. I was living in Los Angeles, training at UPW, Rick Bassman's promotion, in an attempt to get to Japan. And Lance Cade, may he rest in peace, he reached out to me saying Chris Benoit's training here. And I said, please, may I sleep on your floor? And he said, get your ass out here. And I did. And so I introduced myself to Chris. I was without a developmental deal in a developmental territory. I was the only guy allowed to train with the class that wasn't under a deal. And then from there, Chris let me stay after practice with him, and him and I would train exclusively. So that's how I formed a relationship with Chris. He could just tell how much I love pro wrestling, and everything aside from that he didn't care about. And at that age, that's all I cared about as well. So that's how our relationship formed. And he saw the same sort of passion in Paul when he met us on the road. So I think that's how he took a liking to us. Whatever he asked, we did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, whatever happened in his life at the end, I mean, I try to remember what he did in his career. I mean, I was fortunate. I used to go to ECW shows from '94 till it closed in Philadelphia, and I actually have a photo somewhere I've been looking for forever of him, Douglas, and Malenko, and I'm in this photo, and the triple threat, and I actually got to meet him, and he was nice to me, like nicest person like as he could be. I mean, then I try to look at that stuff and not what happened in the end. But yeah, I mean, Paul, like I talked to him at the PWX show in Pittsburgh, and he actually continued the story, and it was pretty cool. And how he explained how much he believed in you guys, and like you said, he had the eye of a passion, which he had passion, you know. And I just wanted to ask you that too, see your take on it. Thanks.
That's yeah.
Good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you continue.
Right.
Continue if you want.
No, there's not much more I can elaborate on it other than that. You know, he was a guy who I looked up to very much. I still do. I wouldn't hesitate to tell other wrestlers to study and emulate what he does. What happened on those final few days, I can only speculate, but I do know that shit happens.
Yeah, definitely. My next question I want to ask, I see on Friday you're having a match at the Santino dojo for Santino show. Actually, it's you're having a match against Famous B, who I've seen him live a couple of times, and he's currently the submission champion. That's what the match is about. It's for that title on the line. So, what's your thoughts of Famous B coming into this match?
Oh, I think he's really talented. I've got to wrestle him once before in a three-way with him and Brian Cage as the people was opposing, I guess, so to speak. I like him. I'm glad to see that that's the match, and I'm excited that it's a submissions-only match. I love to get to be able to showcase that style of wrestling. It isn't necessarily what a lot of people want to see, but when I'm backed into a corner, and in this case have to do it, shit, I'll jump on it because I absolutely adore that style of wrestling.
Yeah, definitely, and for our list, check out Santino, see if you can. And if you can come on Ustream. You can watch that match, him and Famous B for the submission title, which I believe is just it's like a gimmick thing. It's like a submission match. You guys are gonna have, right? That's basically what it is, right?
Yeah, there's no pinfalls. So it's submission only. There's no rope breaks. So if he's got me in a hold and I'm grabbing the ropes won't save me. It's not as complicated as the pure title from Ring of Honor was, with the disqualifications from punching or rope breaks. It's just simply you can't pin a guy. You have to make him. I think you can knock him out, but there's no pinfalls.
Wow, that sounds freaking awesome. Chris, just imagine you see Brian Danielson in a submission only match, no rope breaks. That would be freaking awesome.
Well, he was part of that. That was the pure title in Ring of Honor. Him and
pure title, yeah.
And that was some awesome shit. With Brian Kendrick, I'd fly. I'd fly there. I'm thinking of it.
Yeah. But yeah, check it out. This Friday night, you guys gotta check it out. Either you go to the show in Del Gardens, California, or just check it out on Ustream, and support these guys. Go ahead, Chris.
And last year you wrestled in New Japan, and you took part in the Best of the Super Juniors and the Super Junior Tag Tournament with Trent. Is there any plans on you going back there in the future? And did you enjoy those few appearances that you had over there last year?
I have fun. Yeah, I have fun getting to go out there. The truth is when they reach out to me, they reach out to me with less than a month's notice. I think when I did my first Super Juniors tournament, I had less than 2 weeks' notice. So it's really spur of the moment. I think anytime they bring me out, they don't even plan on it until last minute. You know, I would enjoy the opportunity to go back for them, or you know, if it's not meant to be, then perhaps it's time to reach out to other Japanese promotions. But I absolutely enjoy my time in Japan. I adore the style and the people.
Yeah, no, it would be pretty cool too. I mean, was your first trip over there, that I recall, was 01?
Yes.
Your first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do you enjoy the country?
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of people love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I rarely meet anybody that hates it.
Yeah, I'm one of the many that loves it. It's interesting. It's just there's no people don't steal, people don't litter. It's just a matter of integrity, where whatever people do, what people might look at as a shit job here, there are no shit jobs there. Whatever your lot in life is, you do it to your best. You have integrity. You make sure whatever it is you do it the best you can, and so that's why they have you know, such stuff as like their calligraphy, you know, that's so intricate, or their flower arranging, or everything's the tea ceremonies. Everything's done to the finest detail. And if you go to McDonald's, they'll put your cup inside its own paper bag and fold it over 3 times, and the burger looks just like in the picture. And I adore the people.
Yeah, and they're so stoic, and they're just so precise. You know, they have pride in what they do.
Yes,
absolutely. Yep. Good, awesome.
All right, this is a question, but somebody is hitting me up on Twitter. His name is David Gomez. He owns a wrestling store in Huntington Park, California, called the Wrestling Guy Store. I don't know if you're familiar with that store, Brian.
Sure.
But yeah, he wants me to tell you that his store is open for you to come by to promote your school anytime. So you can come down anytime you want. Yeah, just to promote your stuff.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Gomez.
Yes, and he does help promote Santino, so he'll do the same for you if you ever want to come down and get him flyers, or if you or whatever, not such and such.
Oh, that's very kind.
Yeah, shout out to David, and love you out there. We love your store, man. And yeah, thanks for sharing that, David. But my next question I want to ask you, I don't know if you've seen this recently, but I've been seeing tweets lately ever since your former partner, Ezekiel Jackson, you know, just recently got released from the WWE. I've been seeing these tweets that they want to see a reunion coming up. Would you be down to do a reunion with you and Zeke?
Oh, I would love to team with Zeke again if given the proper platform for it. I think I screwed up with my own decision making and kind of took that opportunity away from us, and I feel bad to Zeke. I feel bad for how it left Zeke high and dry, but at the same time, Zeke went on to great success afterwards. But yeah, he and I absolutely got along. I was lucky enough to run into him a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I would jump on it. I would love the opportunity for him and I to go do that out in Japan or wherever the case may be.
Yeah, or bring him to what's it called? Wrestling Pro Wrestling.
Pro Wrestling.
Oh, Wrestling Pro Wrestling.
Yes, you can bring him on. Have a little reunion there. You can bring out your little jacket and start dancing again. All right, go ahead, Chris.
All right, and believe it or not, I've always wanted to hear your point of view, and kind of change gears a little bit. Since this situation began, which seems like a while now, and all the guessing, hoping blunders that all these countries are doing, what is your take on the whole Malaysian Flight 370 situation? Where is the plane in your opinion? I have to ask you that.
Okay. Well, there's a few things you got to consider. First, what's the motive? And if you've looked into this stuff deeply enough, then you would run into Freescale Industries with Freescale Technology, which is a company based out of Austin, Texas, that works on microprocessors, which are really small computer-type chips that hold massive amounts of information. So there was 5 patent holders. 4 of them were individual human beings, all Chinese. The 5th was this Freescale Technology. They were all working for this Freescale company. So there's a patent on a new technology that was in holding. They're waiting for the patent to be approved. This plane disappears. These gentlemen are gone. So now with nobody else to claim it, this company, Freescale, gets 100% of the rights to this technology. Freescale is owned by the Rothschilds, the same banking Rothschilds that run the world. So my guess is it's a technology that they did not want humanity to have, much like Morgan owning the rights to the Tesla coil, where they pretend that we're looking for a new. We need to find an alternative to oil. We need to find an alternative to this electricity that we're using. This technology has been out there for a century now. It's just owned and stashed away. I think it's the same sort of thing, something that would save humanity, that the Rothschilds don't want to lose their monopoly on, or don't want individuals to be as free as they could be. Now, a byproduct of this is that that's being mulled over just as of yesterday or today, is the United Nations is now wanting to step in and have their own way of having their own FAA of sorts. Now, obviously, there's already international regulations as far as planes have to be up to certain standards, but as of now, each individual country is supposed to watch over their own airspace. So now the United Nations is going to try to fight for it. And who's going to stop the United Nations, because they're all owned by the bankers and the same interests? The United Nations are going to observe all international airspace. So I think it's just one more step towards the New World Order.
And they gain more power, the United Nations. And I actually saw this at the beginning of the situation on Alex Jones, and it's actually one of the few stories that has stuck and has actually stayed the same, unlike what they're putting on the news. And that story actually broke early, and it's funny that you brought that up, because I did see that about the Austin.
About the United Nations part, that is. You're saying?
No,
or
I'm
about
saying
the technology.
The technology, that story about the the people that are now missing, and the company actually has benefited 100% of the patents about it. I actually saw that, and it's once again, you know what I mean? Once again, here we go.
Yeah. Now, how they're going to explain it, I think they're timing it at the same time with the Cosmos special. They have Barack Obama come out on the first episode of the Cosmos to explain the importance of it. They have quantum physicists go out there to try to get the masses to understand how quantum physics works, how there's multiple realities, how it's all up to observation, and so along with black holes and whatnot. So they're going to try to explain it away eventually as it being something to do with multiple realities or multiple dimensions. I think they've tried to get the mass population to accept this theory, and then they'll be able to use that theory. Meanwhile, they're being tucked away in Diego Garcia, British-owned but U.S. military base in the Indian Ocean.
Love it. And I actually read a book from Chukaku about parallel universes. So, like I said, Oscar, I could talk about this stuff all day.
I know. hey, it's all good.
Yeah, this is the stuff I could talk about all day. Yeah. Wrestling I know very little of, but this stuff I could go on all days. you.
Hey, you're actually entertaining me. You're actually entertaining me, and I hope you're entertaining the listeners too. So if I'm getting entertained, the listeners have to be entertained. You know?
Just I can ask this gentleman. So I don't know if he has the time, or there'll be another time. But you know what though? I think everybody needs to open their eyes just a little bit more, and just maybe, I don't know, grow a little bit of common sense again, because that plant has been dying for quite some time now. And it's refreshing. Again, I've been using that word all day tonight, and to know that there are people out there who are paying attention to things that are happening on this planet, and more people should.
Agreed.
But New Japan. Go ahead on. I love it.
All right.
I can continue.
All right. Harry. My next question I want to ask him. It's just been there was a video that just got released today about Jeff Jarrett's new company, Global Force Wrestling, and I guess his vision he wants to do is, I guess he wants to bring talent from all over the world. It doesn't seem like he wants to bring like guys like Scott Steiner or people from the past in his company. So he looks like he's scouting around starting today. So I don't know how close a relationship you have with Jeff Jarrett, but if you guys have a real good relationship, would you bring him down to your school and check out your students? And the same with Chaos's school, Santino's?
Oh, I mean, I would be flattered if he were to come down. I don't know if he'd have any interests, but I have a lot of respect for Jeff. The bit of time that I have got to spend with him, he's very smart, and obviously he's very motivated. This wouldn't be his first project. This would be, hell, he did the Rocker King. Obviously, he made TNA. He did the Wrestling on Wheels project. He's done a lot of stuff, and so I think if anybody were to open up a new company, he's the one to do it. He's got the both the experience and the I guess, I don't know if breeding's the right word, but it's in his blood. So I have a lot of faith in him.
Yeah. How is your relationship with Jeff? Are you guys really close, or?
I wouldn't say that we're really close because I haven't spent enough time with him. I've never been over to his house for a barbecue or he mine, but it's always been pleasant. It's always we've had laughs together. He's I guess he's been entertained by my conspiracy theories, and then he's taught me a lot too, as far as to look into cancer being developed through vaccines, through the polio vaccine and the Bootman cancer from that. So he's very educated on all this stuff as well. I don't know if he wishes to spend more time with me, but I'm always excited to have a chat with him. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm looking forward to this Global Force. I think it's good for the business. I mean, and plus, it creates more jobs, not just only for wrestlers. I guess guys that does like the TV producers and more creative writers. It's more jobs to them too. So yeah. Yeah, all right then. Go ahead, Chris.
What wrestler, in your opinion, has an absolute mind for this industry and would make a great promoter or writer in the future if they elected to go that route?
Tommy Dreamer. I think Tommy Dreamer, but he's got his own promotion now with House of Hardcore, which has been running successfully. But if they were going to invest, if a company with a lot of money were going to invest in somebody, it'd be him. I think D'Lo Brown not only has proven that in TNA that he's got a good mind for it and really knows how to get over, put on great matches. He's also, as with Tommy, has a real way with handling talent by making them feel on the same level, but by being able to motivate them to do whatever the job is that's asked. I think the two of them are just naturals at it.
And he was also attached to the hip of Heyman, along with Gabe, they both came up with them. So he learned from that that great person. So yeah, hey, I absolutely agree with that, man.
I guess I'd throw Steve Carino in the mix too. I think he really knows his shit.
Yeah, he ran the PW. What was it, Potsdam? That's right.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep.
I went to a couple of those shows too. Potsdam. Yeah, it's amazing. He's another guy that you would think that would start up something again, and he hasn't since. But he's got that gig in Ring of Honor right now, so he's probably enjoying himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Good.
Yeah. About Tommy Dreamer, I just want to say that I am actually planning to go to the House of Hardcore show in San Diego in next month, so I just see that's an opportunity that I need to check out. It's like saying that if I lived in New York, if PWG is doing a show there, I have to go there, right? Got to get to there. So that's how I see about House of Hardcore coming to the West Coast. I have to go to House of Hardcore just to check that out.
Yeah, you won't regret it. Yeah.
All right, I believe you, Brian. All right, before I ask you my next question, I want to let the listeners know we're not going to have Brian on in too long, so if you guys have any questions for Brian Kendrick, tweet us at WrestlingHeads, or you can always call in at 760-454-1107. But I'll repeat, we're not going to have him on too long, so if you want to ask him something, you better do it now. My next question I want to ask you, I know you have worked in the WWE and TNA. I just want to know your thoughts of the current product of those two companies right now.
The truth is I couldn't give you much of an opinion. I've seen a few matches of the last few WrestleManias, and that's been it for my viewing experience in total. I really couldn't form an honest opinion on it. I know they're both in business, so I'm grateful for that because it gives wrestlers a place to be, and as long as wrestling's on TV, then wrestling's still relevant. But the truth is, I know far more about a missing plane than I do about current WWE storylines or TNA storylines. I couldn't tell you who the champs are. I know Bryan Danielson. But aside from that, then you got me stumped.
All right, cool. Well, just to give you a taste of it, I guess I could tell you Wade Barrett's the Intercontinental Champ, the Usos are the Tag Champs, which you're still in the top 10 and the most longest reigning WWE Tag Champs. I don't know if you know that, but you're still in the top 10 there. So okay. I know you got Demolition ahead of you guys. So you guys are still in that top 10 list.
I'll take it.
We all know who would win that. We all know who would win that matchup.
Demolition.
Hey, we don't want to. I guess we could give out fantasy matches later on. All right, go ahead, Chris.
All right, shit. I'm gonna keep switching gears, man. And I'm an avid reader, man. I always have. And my question is there a novel out there that you just read, or you could recommend to me or the listeners?
I guess if I was going to recommend any book that I've read, I'd recommend Valis by Phil K. Dick, or The Divine Invasion, which is the sequel to it, or 1984, but that's absolutely depressing, but it'll show you exactly what's going on. The book I'm trying to read, boy, oh boy, is it damn near impossible, but I'm determined to read it before my birthday, which is in a few weeks, is Finnegan's Wake. I've read the first 30 pages 10 times. I don't know if you've ever even attempted reading Finnegan's Wake. If you hadn't, just give it a fucking shot. He makes up, it's written in gibberish, and all the words are strung together, and I've decided as reading it last night that he's experienced life, like the universe in its totality, so he is using terms that have yet to exist in our spot on the time span, But so he's referring to countries like England and the United States, but they're using different names because they no longer exist, and at least that's my interpretation. But it starts mid-sentence, and it ends, the last sentence of the book is the beginning of that first sentence, if that makes sense.
Wrote it down. Just wrote it
down.
Yeah, I'm used to novels like that, Zachariah Stitchin books, go that route too. So I'm definitely looking into those.
Okay, best of luck. I hope we can talk about it next time I'm on, and you would have actually finished it, because good fucking luck.
Hey, Oscar, I'm taking advantage of he's on the show, so screw that.
It's all good. I mean, it's entertainment. That's right. It's got to be entertainment, right? All right. I want to ask you. I know you just said that you don't really follow the product of the WWE and TNA that much, but I'm sure you know who's on the roster. Yeah. So is there anybody?
I mean, I guess I probably wouldn't have met at this point probably half of them, but I know some.
Yeah. Well, is there anybody in the current WWE or TNA or Ring of Honor roster that you would love to or wish that you love to work with?
Oh shit! I guess. I mean, hell, does Hulk Hogan count, or does Ric Flair count? Those would be the guys I'd really want. Yeah. I mean, if there's anybody, if there's anybody like young that I haven't wrestled, shit. I guess I'd have to meet him if I hadn't wrestled him before. I can't think of too many guys. I mean, I know Triple H and Undertaker are both under contract still, so if they count, then them, because they the drama in their matches are I mean, right up there with the all-time greats, and so I would love to learn from wrestling them. But as far as the young guys go, I sadly I can't say. I know Pac is under contract for NXT. I don't know what he's wrestling as now. No, I do. He's Neville, right?
Adrian Neville.
You know, that's one. So him or Samurai Del Sol, who shit,
Kalisto.
I couldn't tell you. Kalisto. So those are two guys I would love to wrestle just because they're fucking unreal in the ring.
Did you ever wrestle Prince Devitt? Have you ever wrestled Prince Devitt? Work with him?
No. I think he's today's Benoit, but with more with a little something extra. I think he's fucking unbelievable. And if he's now officially under contract, then he'd be at the top of my list.
You can see in his eyes that he's got that passion, and he's got it, and he's that guy. Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, and I believe he's now a free agent, so who knows where he's going to be, WWE, TNA, but whatever he wants to do, I'm up for it.
He has options. Yep. I'm sure he has plenty of options.
So whatever he decides to do, I'm up for it. If he wants to go back to Japan, go for it. You know, it's his choice, you know. So, you know, it's funny that he mentioned about Kalisto, Samurai Del Sol. I just noticed that their debut match at NXT, their uniforms were similar, like how Kendrick and Paul London used to wear. I mean, I don't know if you noticed that. Those little blue pants those guys were wearing, it's the same thing, sort of, but the only difference is that Kendrick and London never wore masks, so that's the only difference. I don't know if you noticed that, Chris, but yeah. I'm not saying they're stealing your outfits. I just noticed that when you
mentioned
masks.
Those masks were badass, man. I don't give a shit. Those were badass.
Yeah, they're. Hey, that's a dream. That's a fantasy match we can say. We can give out.
Well, there you go. I'll take it.
I'll take it too. And about Pac, he's currently the NXT champ, and I like what they're doing out there. So, I mean, hopefully one of these days they make the main roster, but I like what they're doing with Pac out there, or we can say Adrian Neville. So, yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
And I'm sure you've been asked about this person a million times, but I have to. And it's no secret that you and Paul are close. He's been your compadre for many years, traveling the globe, and I was wondering if you could, comment what he has meant to you in your career and just in life in general. I mean, as a person.
Going through the WWE, especially being so young, it can be intimidating, and it's as cutthroat as you want to make it. Life is whatever you decide it to be, but it is, it is intimidating. It's the big time, and so to have somebody who you knew from the indies, from wrestling small marketplace shows, and struggling to be there by your side, and to know that if you got in a pickle, they'll be there for you. Somebody that's not going to do you dirty. It's a huge relief. And then just to be able to have such a similar style, but to be able to complement each other with our differences, I really lucked out that he and I managed to be able to team together.
One of the most genuine dudes I've ever met. No doubt about it. I mean, he's as genuine as they get that I've met. And I agree. Everything you say. Go ahead, Oscar.
All right. I think we should give out one more final question just for him because he had to move on. But I'm going to ask him one more question. So my final question I'm going to ask you, after me and Chris go off the air, I do actually have the WWE Network. So which Brian Kendrick match, pay-per-view match, they don't have every Raw or SmackDown on the network yet, so I just want to ask you, what Brian Kendrick match I should watch before I go to sleep? A pay-per-view match.
Oh, okay. I forget what pay-per-view it was before, but they had a barroom brawl with like 30 of us wrestling in it.
Dwight the Clown was in there, right?
He might have been. I know Funaki was in it. Maybe Funaki
won.
I don't remember, but yeah, I'd watch that one if I were you, because
that was Vengeance. I think that was Vengeance 2003, I believe. I believe that was that pay-per-view.
Yeah,
or 405. It's got to be around there.
Yeah,
I believe it was
probably
Vengeance.
03, but I don't know. But yeah, like back in the Basham Brother days and stuff. So that'd be the one I watch.
I believe that was the first ever SmackDown pay-per-view, right? Or did we start splitting them? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to look for that brawl match. Doink the Clown was in there. I remember that. Doink the Clown was in there. I'll look for that bar fight match, whatever. All right, go ahead, Chris.
I mean, and I know you got to go, and I'm not going to ask you more questions because I know you've been on longer and more than I ever expected. And I just want to say thanks for being on the show, and it was a pleasure to interview. And to everyone out there, local and far away, drive across the country, whatever you got to do, fly. Take advantage of this guy. He will lead you the right way, man. And everyone, take advantage of it.
Thank you guys very much for having me on, and hopefully we can do it again in the near future. And hell, don't be afraid to ask more conspiracy questions, because that's one thing. As you can tell, I absolutely love the business of wrestling, but I don't immerse myself into what's happening in it like I used to as a fan. But if you want to talk about the nature of reality or books or conspiracy theories, then I'm your guy.
So
yeah,
I have about 10. I have about 10 more, so I'll save them.
All right, perfect then.
Brian, before we let you go, do you want to give out any plugs about your school and information before we let you go?
That's it. If you're interested in getting more information, just go to briankendrick.net, or you can email me again at bkschoolofpw@gmail.com, and simple as that. And I'm grateful for you guys having me on and spreading the word, and also just helping support wrestling in general. Without fans of wrestling and wrestling talk show hosts such as yourself, then wrestling would die. It would just be a place without this weird niche performance without anybody to perform in front of. So thank you guys very much for doing what you do.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we always do. We like to help out anything that involves wrestling. You know, either you own a store, you own a wrestling school, it doesn't matter. We want to help you out and support you some way, you know. And like I said, this Friday, go to Santino's, check him out against Famous B, and in the month, go check out his show. Support him, please, and check out his school if you want to be a pro wrestler. You know, just check him out and support this guy. All right then, Brian. Like I said, thanks a lot for coming in, and we should do this again down the road.
Thank you.
I'd like that very much. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Chris. You guys have a great rest of the show and a great rest of the evening.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Have a good night.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Brian Kendrick, and I had a fun time with that guy, man.
No way. Listen, there's no fucking way that I wasn't going to go into off topic of professional wrestling with that guy. Because, like I said, he could.
Yeah.
And I could have went on forever.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, this is Shoot the Shit, and we got to continue on with the Shoot the Shit thing, but before we do that, let's go to commercial break, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Adam Cole, your current PWG World Champion and Ring of Honor World Champion, and you're listening to WrestlingHeads Radio.
Four Corners Radio is the home for the best professional wrestling and independent wrestling. Discussions and coverage. Billy, Ant, Martin, and Sam bring you three of the best podcasts every week. The Four Corners Raw Roundtable, the Indie Project, and the Saturday Freestyle. Along with the podcast, FourCornersWrestling.com is designed with all wrestling fans in mind. Feature articles, videos, the weekly shows, and much more. Four Corners and WrestlingHeads are teaming up to bring you wrestling's next revolution. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to shoot. And for all you sick-minded fucks, I'm not talking about what's coming out of my dick. I'm ready to shoot the shit. So, Chris, are you ready? Yeah, in your face.
That's pretty
all
good.
Right, man.
I guess you want a free. I guess you want a free ticket to this weekend too. I guess.
Yes, this weekend. And speaking about this weekend, what the fuck? You broke the news to me. Okada and Cedric Alexander is out. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, I mean,
cut it off.
Cedric got jumped by the decade, so they're going to go with that. Which sucks because Cedric's is really fucking hot right now. But the thing is, that's not going to derail him. You know that. I mean, he's going to keep going higher. But this was a very, very fucking high-profile match, probably his biggest in his career, and might be for the next coming months and years. But yeah, and they announced it. I looked at the website like a few hours ago, but they said Okada is still on the card, so they haven't announced that, which will probably be tomorrow. So it's a developing story. I don't know if they're going to mix with some of the matches. Right now there's a 6-man tag with Ciampa in it. Maybe they'll throw Ciampa. Who knows? Maybe they'll add a guy. But as of now, that match is off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, fuck. Who knows what's going to happen Saturday? I hope we get some info as soon as we can. Even where we're doing this show, I mean, hopefully I get something on my phone and say, oh, Okada against I don't know, freaking Roderick Strong will happen instead of Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
So.
That's actually what I was hoping, but I was hoping something like that, and then of course Cody's in the match, but they could change it. I mean, that's what happens. That's why it's this card subject to change. So Either way, I'm excited. I get to meet these motherfuckers that I've been fucking, in awe of for years now, and also see them in action in person. And I'm just looking forward to it. I don't care if Okada comes out and has some fucking money fall down and his arms outstretched. I'm happy. So he'll wrestle.
And just let our listeners know, don't think a triple threat match is going to happen. I doubt that will happen. That's not the New Japan way. So don't think a triple threat match or an old school ECW three-way thing. No way it's going to happen.
It's not, but they've also not worked with a company that is this national that has a national product like this in America since the old WCW days. So you never know. Maybe they are setting up a triple threat in Japan and Yokohama on 5/25 of this month. Maybe they are. But hey, maybe they feel the pressure of Cedric was hurt or whatever, and they do make it a triple threat this week. I mean, the crowd's not going to be disappointed. You don't rarely see that in Japan, but this ain't Japan. You know what I mean? This is
you're in America.
Yeah, and I'd rather have a Japanese star fight for the IWGP title anyway. It's just more traditional. I'm just really not into the American versus American. That's what ROH titles are for.
Hey, Canadian.
Well, North American. So we're all on the same fucking continent. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel that, hey, who knows, man? They're in charge, and I'll be there swiping my charge.
All right. Well, Ring of Honor, fuck it. Just put him against Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong deserved to be in this card. He deserved to go against one of the Japs. I think he could handle it. I don't know why they didn't put him in. Come on.
I can't. What you call him? But anyway.
What's up?
Yeah. You said one of the blank, but
I said one of the Japs.
Like I said,
put him against one of the Japs.
Anywho, I ain't touching that. But anyway, Roddy's already in a match. That's the thing. Now, like I said, they could change it, but we'll see. Who else? Ciampa?
Oh, Ciampa,
He's on the card too.
That'd be great.
He's on the card too.
What about Lethal?
He's fighting Kushida, which that match.
Oh yeah,
right fucking there.
Yeah.
TV title, Kushida versus Jay Lethal. Dude, that's gonna be fucking phenomenal. And how fucking great would it be if fucking Kushida? Listen, I love Jay Lethal. I think he's smooth as glass, a little motherfucker. I think he's one of the best wrestlers out there. How crazy would it be if Kushida fucking walked away with that TV title? Probably not gonna happen, but it would be awesome. It would be a pretty good pop, but that's going to be a hidden gem on that card. So people will look out for that.
Yeah, definitely. And the match I'm really looking for is a rematch from a few weeks ago. Young Bucks against Red Dragon. I mean,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be great. I'm actually expecting Red Dragon to walk out with the belts again, but I got a feeling this is going to top the other match they had. I forgot what city it was in. Milwaukee. Not in
Chicago.
Milwaukee.
Was it Chicago?
Chicago.
Was it Chicago? It was Chicago Red? Yeah, I think it was Chicago. Which was a great match.
Yeah, I probably was one of this, but it just happened recently. But this is the only match I believe the Young Bucks will actually lose the tag belts. All these belts they're having. This is the match I see them losing their titles. So,
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because it's no big secret. The next few months in New Japan's schedule is rough. You have fucking the Super Juniors. You got you got G1 Climax coming. You got fucking all types of shit going on here, and the Bucks are going to be over there. They're not going to be coming here, and these aren't like events. These are like 3-week tours. Like G1 Climax is like 9 days, but it's spread out 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It's their fucking ultimate fucking production. And then you have the Super Juniors tournament, which both Matt and Nick are in, and that's a little over a week. So they're not going to be defending shit in the United States. So it makes sense them dropping the title so Red Dragon can fucking present Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Shit, they just might as well just fucking live out there. fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make no sense. I mean, and plus you have Nick and Matt doing singles in the end of May, in the beginning of June. They're not even defending their IWG Junior tag titles, so it makes all the sense in the world that Dragon takes the belts.
Damn, and I just want to know how's their schedule with PWG. I know they're in the next show, but the show afterwards, I don't know how that's going to affect, you know, their schedule to PWG, because they're the tag team champs. I don't want them to bust Super Smash Brothers. Remember the Super Smash Brothers with the tag champs? They didn't appear for like 6 months. I don't know if you remember that. But
I could see them dropping them belts too, because they're gonna. Isn't the anniversary show coming up in July? You know what I mean? I don't know when they're gonna have it.
It should be July. It should be July.
Yeah.
Like the next show after should be the anniversary show.
Yeah, and I know the first show I went to last year was Is Your Body Ready? That was in June. So, but the way it's falling, it looks like they're not going to have a show in June. They're going to have it in July. So they're going to have to drop the titles. Maybe they drop the titles at their anniversary show because they're going to be on the road at that G1 Climax. And like I said, that's a grueling fucking event. And you know, they have a show every goddamn night. So they're just not going to be doing shows in America anytime soon. But it's not going to hurt them. They're the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks could drop every title they have. They're as over as Rover. You know what I mean? They're, you know,
yeah.
They're just fine.
Yeah, and I want to say something a little off topic. Go Kings, go! We're going to Game 7. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, but going back to the Bucks, that is a brutal schedule. Fuck, man. They're getting money. They're making money on this brutal schedule, so it does pay off.
All matters.
You know.
That's what all matters.
Where they live in, I'm not gonna lie, houses is cheap where they live at. So they get
making money,
retire when they
taking
hit
care
40.
of your family.
Yeah.
People think, it's all about titles and wins and losses. It's all about taking care of your family and making cheddar, and that's what they're doing right now. You know. Yeah,
and the way they're doing, how they're living, they could probably retire 40. Seriously, they could probably retire for 40. And I don't think they're going to be turning 40 anytime soon, I'll tell you that.
No. Fuck, I think Nick's like 24, 25.
See, like I said, a long ways before they hit 40.
And I'm going to tell you what, dude. I'm going to tell you what. I am fucking, just like I was jazzed up when he got the fucking IWGP Junior title match against Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see how he does in this junior tournament or junior best of the Super Juniors. I mean, it might pan out that he does very fucking well. It's going to be really interesting, man. And there's a lot of good matches that he's involved with. And if you guys want to see those matches, just search New Japan, and you'll see the list of matches coming up at the end of the month in June.
Yeah. The Super Junior tournament. Do you have like a favorite who might win it all, or do you have a name that you think they should win it? Yeah.
Who I think's going to win it? I don't know really who's going to win it, but I know they're probably going to showcase Ricochet pretty heavily. I honestly believe that Nick might even get a strong push. I think Kenny Omega is going to have fucking some extremely entertaining matches. I highly suggest watching anything Kenny Omega is doing in Japan right now, because not only is he a great wrestler, but he is way out there. First of all, he speaks fluent Japanese, and it's absolutely incredible to see. And his gimmick is him and Kota Ibushi are actually they wrestle pretty much in DDT. It's a promotion, and it's just an unbelievable act that they do. So, I honestly, this is one of the first times where there really isn't no clear-cut winner. When they threw Ricochet in there, I mean, obviously Ricochet winning it would be great, but I'm just not sure what's going on with him and Dragon Gate in Japan. I don't know if the relationship, would even allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. I mean, I would love it if he wins, but I'm just not how. You know what I mean? Two different promotions. I don't know how that works over there. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fucking interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, I know Ricochet is in this tournament, but is he still?
Well, it's not
still
a tournament.
part of Dragon Gate Japan in a way, or?
Yeah, I mean, as of now, he is. I mean, he just lost the title to Yamato, but what's funny is as soon as I seen him get announced for Best of the Super Juniors, it kind of made me go, wait a minute, what? He's Dragon Gate champ, then he lost the title. I was like, okay, there we go. You know what I mean? I just can't see him carrying the Dragon Gate title in a New Japan arena. It just doesn't happen. I don't ever see it happening. But it's not really a tournament. What it is, there's Block A and Block B. There's like 8 wrestlers in Block A, 8 wrestlers in Block B, and what they do, they wrestle for 7, 8 straight days, and whoever's got the best record in those days, they put the final 4 in a tournament on the last day. So it's like a league tournament. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like G1. It's like G1 Climax is the same way for the heavyweights.
Oh, okay. This New Japan and Dragon Gate Japan, do they have some kind of relationship going on, or you're not quite sure? Cause
I don't know if it's a relationship. They really haven't in the past that I know of recently. So it makes me wonder, hey, is Ricochet a free agent? Is Ricochet, as the people quote unquote say, freelancer? I don't know that. It's going to be interesting if he is able to wrestle in New Japan for the next couple months, because I could see him winning the whole fucking thing. It's all about that. Because Dragon Gate's doing really well over there. Like I said, they just had that one pay-per-view. They had 7,000 people. That's a lot of people. So
shit.
They're doing well.
Yeah.
So but a relationship, it doesn't happen a lot. So I can't answer that.
Yeah. Well, I
Weird.
think you said on one of the Vox that you said New Japan and Noah got some kind of relationship. So, and they do
recently,
use recently, yeah. So the whole Dragon Gate Japan and New Japan, I just want to know what was going on. How Ricochet ended up in this tournament. And if he does,
I mean, is he an agent? Is he a free agent? That's what's weird. He also, it's going to be interesting to see. And my thing is, Noah kind of needs help, so I could see why they are working with New Japan, especially with Kenta bailing, and his last match is on the 17th of this. Also, so that's going to be crazy. And but Dragon Gate's doing pretty fucking good. So you know what I mean? It's a weird situation over there. And the whole language barrier thing. So who knows what the fuck they're saying? I have all the channels from over there, and I watch everything. They actually have a sports center, basically a sports center type show on their channels, and it's all wrestling. Every promotion over in Japan. It's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah,
definitely. We'll see what happens. Hey, if Ricochet does win that damn tournament, I'm seriously gonna consider him, putting him maybe number 1 for WH Top 100 for 2014. Seriously, if he does win that damn tournament,
he's wrestler of the year right now. You know what I mean? In my book, I mean, of course, Adam Cole coming on strong right now. Of course, we'll see what Daniel Bryan. You will see what Daniel Bryan does the rest of the way. I mean, right now he's having a little bit of bad time right now. I mean, sure, wrestling is not even on his mind right now. But right now, the most consistent since day one, since January 1st, is Ricochet. I mean, even when he wasn't champion, he was winning. So what he does in VG USA, what he did in Dragon Gate Japan, and if he has a good showing here, name anybody that is having success around the world as much as Ricochet right now. Nobody. I mean, arguably Adam Cole. But... Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Ricochet's wrestling in how many promotions? PWG, DJ USA, DJ Japan, Evolve, PWG. I don't know if I just said that. New Japan now. I mean, he's wrestling literally. He's wrestling literally all over the goddamn planet, and he's winning.
Yeah. And fucking WWE turned him down. That's crazy. Oh well. Speaking about Daniel Bryan, we were talking about. I mean, you broke this to me on Vox earlier today too. that now the 6-man is an elimination match, and you think that's the world title? That's the way into the world title, right?
It seems like a logical answer of what you could do. I mean, Kane's obviously out of the picture, unless Stephanie hands him the belt and says forfeit. You know what I mean? And says, well, come on, Brian, you have 10 seconds to get down to the ring. And he doesn't make it, and they just fucking hand the title to Kane. I mean, that's another option. Highly doubt that's going to happen. But, I mean, what other way? I mean, you got a lot of shit going on. And maybe they amp up this Shield Evolution feud a little bit higher and make it for the world title. Why? They just made an elimination match. Why would they do that? You know what I mean? Maybe they are going to put the title on the line, which would be crazy. Because this would be the first time that any of the Shield members actually get a legit shot of holding the fucking title. And how awesome would it be if one of them got it on a swerve? You know what I'm saying? Which would be fucking insane. Or maybe Triple H comes out with it, you know, and just says, fuck it, I'm putting on my fucking waist for a while and, you know, and take care of business until D. Bride comes back. You know, it's unlimited possibility. Unlimited possibility.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you this. I kind of like a little disagree about the world title and the Shield Evolution at 6-man. Whoever wins gets the title. I doubt that will happen because due to the fact, look at the odds can happen. What if the Evolution does win and they decide that have Batista get eliminated, but you have Triple H and Randy Orton, the survivors? Then what's going to happen? What, Triple H and Randy Orton are co-champions? You know, I just don't see that, you know, happen. I mean I don't see that at all. It doesn't make sense because how the odds of this match can be, you know?
I mean, well, that's just thinking of it. It all depends on how they book the match. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, they could book it that way and have like, oh God, you know, Batista and Randy Orton are the last two left, or they could just book it the old-fashioned way and just have, you know, only guys who are enemies touch each other. I mean, but who knows? I mean, it could just be maybe they just made an elimination match. But the fact of the matter is, they said they're going to have an announcement about the world title situation. Okay. And all of a sudden, it's coming out that it's an elimination match, and Stephanie and Triple H are basically have been saying they don't want the belt around Daniel Bryan, so they're basically going to make a decision. So, you know what I mean? It all going to lead towards that might be the answer, because they have to do something. You just can't have fucking a forfeit for the title, or you, God forbid, you can't have another tournament for the title. They have a tournament to have a number one contender to the IC title. I think the last thing they need right now is a tournament. Seriously.
Yeah.
So it probably makes sense, and it's not going to be like a tournament that lasts weeks and weeks and weeks. And God, I think they want to get it done, over with, boom. So I'm thinking that might be it.
That, or at least a fucking battle royal or something, you know. I don't know.
Something quick.
Something quick, yeah. And, I mean, let's just say they do that route, the whole elimination match, whatever. If anything, maybe get the belt back to Orton. Might as well, and have him until, I guess, SummerSlam when Daniel Bryan comes back. Have a Daniel Bryan versus Orton match, one-on-one, you know?
Okay. Or, like I said, it could be even
Triple H.
You could do it. You could, like I said. I mean, it's the old. If you can't trust anybody, you trust yourself. And you know, it's your, pretty much it's your father-in-law's promotion, and you put the title on yourself while you hold fort. And or you could just fucking maybe the Daniel Bryan fucking injury is going to be worse than we all think tomorrow. When they cut him open, they're going to find stuff in there that's either positive or negative. And I think that's what they're waiting for. If it turns out that it's worse than before, they might just change everything, and who knows, maybe they make a fucking Shield member the champ, and he swerves everybody, and he fucking turns heel. You know what I mean? It all depends on his surgery. Notice they ain't making any decision until they find out what the fuck's in that guy's neck. And when you and when you do a Chris Benoit fucking headbutt off the top rope, and he's been doing it since fucking Ring of Honor a long time ago, it fucks your neck up. And it's a shame, but it's just not a good, safe move. Not fuck the guy on the ground, It's that jolt that your neck takes when you hit.
Yeah.
So it all depends on when they cut him open.
And how old is he now? Like in his 30s, right? Mid-30s?
I would 34, 35.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wouldn't shock me. He stops doing it. So, I mean, I know that's one of his moves that we all know him, but it wouldn't shock me if he doesn't do it. It's like how the Undertaker, he doesn't do old school anymore. You know, he could barely get in the fucking turnbuckle. You know.
Yeah. So. I mean, a lot of people will say, "Oh, he got hurt off that forklift." I mean, listen, he's been getting hurt probably for a while with that move, and I don't know if anyone remembers a year or two ago, he had a match. I think it was against Triple H, it was the match that Triple H stopped allegedly when he got that stinger. Remember when he fucking did that outside he did that dive outside the ring and he fucking jammed his fucking neck on the fucking on the guardrails, whatever you call that rubber thing. I'm sure that motherfucker's pretty stiff if your head hits it directly. And you remember his arm was dangling. He got a stinger. That could have did it. And plus just years and years of fucking working.
Work, yeah. Years. Fucking remember Ring of Honor, he was killing himself. You know? He was doing
front flips, and believe me, I saw it in person. He was doing front flips into the crowd, into like the third, fourth row, off the top rope, onto legit chairs, not folding chairs, like banquet chairs. It was just insane. And springboard off the top rope, gone. And it's just, a neck injury is different because it just doesn't affect your neck. It affects your arms. And it's a fucking horrible injury. It's a horrible injury.
Yes.
And let's just hope to fucking Christ that it ain't as serious as people think.
Yeah, definitely. And, we let's just pray for Daniel Bryan. And hopefully he can come back in a few weeks, you know, and maybe we don't have to drop the title, you know. I mean, if they can do Payback without a WWE title match, fine. And I feel bad for that Chicago crowd. You know, they bought a ticket to go see this event, and then could possibly, most likely, we're not going to see a WWE title match. So, I mean, I get what Tom was saying. You know, they'll be pissed seeing possibly a Extreme Rules rematch as their main event. Well, why not can they do something else? Like that elimination match between the Shield and Triple H could be that main event, and they have to switch it up a bit, you know? They have to somehow. They can't just do a regular six-man tag.
They got to do what they got to do. They got to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
And what a positive, negative fucking past few month or so for him. I mean, Jesus Christ, too, is probably his proudest moments ever. Getting married, getting that fucking moment that he might not ever top again. That might be his moment that he'll have in his whole life. That WrestleMania moment. That might be it.
Yeah.
Beating Triple H and winning the world title at WrestleMania in the main event. Top that shit. But anyway, his father dies on his honeymoon, and then of course with the child passing. I mean, and then now this. I mean, what worse could happen? Jesus Christ, it's all up from here. It's all uphill. You know. You can't get any more lower. Hey,
I'm sure he's been to a lot of adversities before, you know. I mean, yeah. I'm confident Daniel Bryan will recover from all this. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt his career. I don't think WWE would do something stupid like what they did with Dolph Ziggler. I doubt it. So, I'm sure he will.
Hopefully. Good.
No, you're going to say hopefully what?
Hopefully,
no, I'm just saying, I mean...
Hopefully,
okay, hopefully what?
Hopefully, the worst thing that happens, it makes him smarter of the maneuvers that he does. You know what I mean? Let's just hope he's not out of action. I don't think it's as severe as Stone Cold was when he had his. No. Yeah, I don't think it's like that. And who knows? Tomorrow, I'm sure it's in the morning, and I'm sure you're going to start hearing reports of what the fuck happened. Probably the majority of reports are going to be horseshit. But hopefully, in the real world, they open his fucking neck up and go, oh, he's good. That's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, it's going to be a busy day for WWE tomorrow because you have maybe the final results of Daniel Bryan's neck. And not only that, I'm guessing they're going to have a freaking some kind of press conference tomorrow about they might have renew a contract with NBC. I guess just Raw's going to stay on USA. So they're not going nowhere, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be a busy day for them tomorrow. It'll be a really
they're
busy
looking,
day.
and if they renew at NBC, and I've been hearing the money that they've been asking, that's going to be an interesting number that Vince negotiated for, because I'm hearing monster numbers that WWE's going to make off NBC.
Yes.
Monster fucking numbers. Most they've ever made from a station.
Yeah, and think about this. USA Network was not in the top 5 cable channels when WWE was on Spike TV, you know. Yeah. Now they're number 1 because WWE has to do a lot to do with it, you know. And I think they were number 1 when they had them before, and then they dropped them down. And then when they dropped down, it did hurt them in a bit. But I know for a fact they had to freaking do what they got to do to keep them, you know. Because if they lose WWE again, their channel's going down. No one's gonna watch the USA Network, to be honest. You know, you know. I mean, I don't know if people watch Psych or Born Notice.
Well, isn't your favorite show Burn Notice?
Burn Notice. Like, who's gonna be watching those shows? You know. So
let me explain something to you. The only thing I watch on USA besides Raw is the last 3 minutes of whatever the fuck that show is before Raw with fucking LL Cool J and Chris O'Donnell and that fucking chick with the glass.
Is that and Law and Order or some shit?
I forget what it's called. I'm sure if I think real hard I could remember. But and I just burned through that because it's on my DVR. I burned through that like light speed. So I barely see it, but that's about I watch 3 minutes of something else. I don't watch anything else on USA.
Yeah. You know, we're talking about TV and shit like that. You know, I read about something about TNA. I mean, TNA is actually worried in the fall that when football season starts, it might affect them because the Thursday night, the Thursday night primetime thing is getting moved to CBS.
CBS.
So that means there's people that cannot afford cable can able to watch Thursday night football on a national channel. Yeah. They're
going to have to move. They're going to have to minimum. And listen, there's going to be, which I don't know if I'm all for that many NFL games that are not on Sunday. I'm starting to get fucking sick of it because, you know, NFL is my number 1 fucking thing in the world. Forget wrestling, it's football, but I really don't want to see that many games that are not on Sunday. It's actually pretty nauseating. You know, Sunday's football. Yeah. But anyway, if that... minimum, I think TNA, whatever the fuck they sign, PBS, whatever they sign, I doubt they're going to be on Thursday still because they're in. They hardly get a 1 share when fucking they have a scaffold match 100 feet high and Samoa Joe gets ran up. You know, they couldn't even get a 1 share doing that. So good luck getting a half a share when the NFL is on local TV. Good luck.
Yes. And a Thursday night, too. So, I think I said this in the show. They got to move them because NXT's on the same night at the same time, and now they're going to have TakeOver pretty soon, you know. I said this a few months back. They have to do something because if a rival it become a success, they're going to have another live show. And, look, TakeOver is coming up in a few weeks. So they got to do something.
And it's tape. And it's tape.
It's tape.
I mean,
it's tape.
They tape 4 episodes.
Yep.
So no one wants to watch that. And what's fucking comical to me is the fact that they're fucking running, I think it's 3 straight nights at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and I heard that they're spending like $200,000 to fucking $300,000 to rent this joint, which, Jesus Christ, I hope that's a lie. But they're not going to do the same attendance that New Japan and Ring of Honor are doing this weekend.
Hell
so I don't
no.
know what the fuck they're thinking. I don't care if Jesus Christ is getting a fucking title run. They're not going to fill Hammerstein, okay? Especially 3 nights in a row in New York City. So good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Tom will be there. I'm sure Tom will check out some TNA right there. And he's from New York, so.
Listen, there's nothing against some of the guys on the roster. Love them all.
Yeah.
But man, they are on a tailspin. And they're looking for a TV deal themselves, and you know Spike Network is going to go like, dude, we can't have you on Thursdays. You're struggling without NFL on. You're going to be struggling, and they're going to move them. the minimum they're getting moved.
Yeah, the best way they gotta move is probably Wednesdays, because Wednesdays there's really nothing going on, you know. And would it be nice to see, like, okay, they have a certain, like when Global Force debuts, and I'm hearing they might do it like on a Tuesday night show. Let's just say that's the way they're going. Mondays you got Raw, Tuesday you got Global Force, Wednesday you got TNA, Thursday you can watch NXT or whatever. Then Friday, I guess, SmackDown, or you can go to a live show. Saturday, you could do the same thing. Go to a live show. Go watch Ring of Honor. You know, that would be freaking sweet.
And then you have the fucking pay-per-views. You have Japan fucking
Sunday.
shows every now and then.
Japan.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
You're gonna be picking and choosing your spots. Because literally, unless you're a nut like us, you're not going to watch all of it. I'm not saying us. I'm saying the majority of people are going to like, listen, what the fuck? I got my TiVo's banging. I got to watch my shit.
Yeah.
TNA's in trouble.
Yep, they are.
TNA's in trouble.
They are in. Yep, they got to get out Thursday night somehow. So. And right now, the storylines are going right now, oh, shit. It's not interesting. It's not helping them out. You got to go head-to-head with WWE somehow, with the NXT. And even though NXT is not doing that great right now, but, yeah, they still got to do something.
Backer. They have a huge backer. They're not going to run out of money anytime soon. And here's the thing. What was it? 4 months ago, 5 months ago, we were all like, you know what? TNA's doing the right thing. They're getting rid of these old motherfuckers, sending them out, sending them packing. They're signing a lot of the guys that we love. A lot of the guys that we stand out in line for, like Kenny King and fucking T.J. Perkins and Peter Avalon, all these fucking young dudes, the Wolves, man, they're really doing the right thing. I can't fucking wait. And then 80% of the guys that I just mentioned, you won't see on TV for fucking 3 months. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? And they're losing your trust in guys that you are emotionally tied to. They need to figure it the fuck out and have a consistent program on their fucking television to where, hey, I want to watch a fucking guy that I like and I know he's going to be on whatever night they're going to be. Let's say I like T.J. Perkins. Well, where's T.J. Perkins wrestle? TNA. I'm going to watch TNA. Well, guess what? Good luck finding him. Finding him.
He's basically
because
Kenny
they're paying
King.
him.
He was basically Kenny King in the fall time. Where was Kenny King in the fall time? You know.
I get the fact that they were overseas. I get the fact that they were overseas, but you know what? They overseas.
Yeah. Speaking about Kenny King, one of his supporters is calling us right now, and that is Skits. What's going on, Skits?
Yo. Hello?
Yo. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not just a Kenny King supporter. I think I'm a supporter of all those dudes that Chris just mentioned. And TNA is definitely like consistent of what they're doing, and they're getting rid of just about everybody. Just like I said the other day, I believe we all had a conversation on Voxer. For some reason, I just get that feeling Bobby Roode's the next one to go. With Joe, we already know Angle might be leaving too with his injury.
Angle's gone. Angle is gone.
Yeah,
he's done. Sorry. I'm sorry. Angle is done now. He's done.
We also said this on Voxer. If Bobby Roode goes, they have no business on owning or even having anything to do with a professional wrestling promotion, because that's just idiotic.
Yeah.
Because it looks like Aries is in a doghouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's taking indie booking, so Aries is pretty much going to be gone. So
you got Bad Influence looking like they're on their way to ROH soon.
Yeah, they're going to ROH. You know what? I know we were talking ROH earlier, Chris, but just imagine Red Dragon does beat the Young Bucks this Saturday, and then fucking Bad Influence comes out and they challenge him for the tag down the road.
I tweeted about that the other day.
What's crazy? I was just about to fucking say that. I was gonna say, could you imagine if they fucking came down the apron and just gave a stare? That crowd will flip the fuck out. And I'll be one of them. I might fall. I'll storm the ring.
You know what? The fucking champ should defend that title for that fucking World of the World show. Where the fuck is Bruce? Damn it.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody knows where the fucking champ is.
He knows we're having a show
Hey,
today.
man.
What the fuck?
Tell you what, man. Hey, he's champ, man. He's the prima donna champ. You got to give it. Hey, you know what's crazy? He was called out for weeks and called every name in the book. And you know what that motherfucker did? He won. He's fucking Floyd Mayweather of the WH fucking world. He's just fucking wrecking stuff.
He's just all luck. He's Tim Tebow right now. Just luck. That's all he is.
He's on Bruce Kraft time.
Hold on. Did Tebow even have luck?
He was luck. Those wins, look at, I'm sorry, everybody's listening, our Denver Bronco fans, listen. Those wins were luck. That AFC West was a weak division. The Raiders, come on. The Raiders are the only threat they had. Come on now.
Oh, man. I know you two are like the football heads of WrestlingHeads. Literally.
Yeah.
All right, we just brought up a subject real quick. I don't know how long you're going to be on. How fucked up? How fucked is TNA? No matter even if I get a fucking TV deal on Spike or wherever the fuck, I think it's going to be PBS. Just joking. But could you imagine how much their ratings are going to fucking fail when NFL is now going to have Thursday night games on CBS or local channels across this country?
Yeah.
Every fucking Thursday? Not just a couple Thursdays. Every fucking Thursday. Good luck, TNA. Good luck, TNA. What do you think? They're in trouble. They're in dead. They're moving. They're going to move to another day.
Yep. Because knowing you, Chris, if the Bears were playing that night, you're going to be watching that instead of TNA.
Dude,
you know?
If the Bears are on, listen, the Bears are on, I don't give a shit. Who the fuck? I'm watching the fucking Bears. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if Mickey James is jerking off Daniel Bryan in the middle of the ring and Vince McMahon is counting 1, 2, 3. I'm watching the Bears.
Shit. Speaking of Mickey James,
I actually see that.
Speaking of Mickey James, talks about her going to the Hall of Fame next year with The Rock, Rikishi, and somebody else.
She got a great ass.
Okay, I'm going to say something, maybe a little rant here. Why the fuck WWE would want to put Mickey James in the Hall of Fame now? Look she doesn't look old. She looks in her 30s. She still looks good. At least.
Lita or Tristan either.
She is in her 30s.
I mean, yeah, but
and Lita and Tristan look old either.
But okay, Trish is at least in her late 30s. I think Lita's a little bit older. But come on, I think Mickey could be in the WWE roster or in the TNA roster today. You know, if she wanted to.
She's too busy with her country shit, bro.
I know she's doing country shit, but why would you put her in the Hall of Fame? Someone who's probably 5 years older than me. You know. Seriously.
I mean,
I think that's too early. I think that's too early to put her in.
If fucking Edge, if fucking Edge went to the Hall of Fame, why can't Mickey James go?
It's a different situation.
Edge got his career ended, but at the same time, I feel like WWE should put kind of like how the NFL does it when they do their Hall of Fame. They have to wait 5 years after retirement to get in. I think WWE should do that, but I feel like WWE
I doubt she gets in next year. I mean, I'm sure you'd probably have a better chance seeing her get another run first before she gets into the Hall of Fame. That's just, you know what I mean? That's like giving RVD to Hall of Fame, right? Not comparing Mickey James and RVD. I'm saying it's kind of idiotic to even do that. I mean, let her finish her career a little bit. I mean, she's in her mid-30s.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to win. But anywho.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's way too early to put her in. But Rock, Goldberg, I understand. Even though I'm not a big Goldberg fan, I understand putting them in the Hall of Fame. But, I guess Rikishi too, but...
No, what the fuck did Rikishi do? What did he do? What did he ever do?
Let me see.
Because you know why I could see that? First of all, he's from that area. He's from the...
Yep.
He's got, and you know what? And people forget what Rikishi did before he was Rikishi. He was the Tonga Kid in '85, and he was supposed to be the next Jimmy Snuka. His career started way the fuck back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so.
Remember his head triggers, remember?
Yeah, they were also the SSTs. before that in World Class, which was one of my favorite fucking tag teams, and they went to NWA. Love them fuckers. And he's got a career. He'll definitely make the Hall of Fame. No doubt about it.
Yeah, he will. He will get in.
I liked his career before Rikishi, when he stuck his ass in people's faces. I actually kind of enjoyed it. But he was also a lot thinner back in the day, too.
Yeah, he was. Rikishi fought too. Or Fatu. Remember, he was Fatu, so.
Yep.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is a team I want to see in the fucking Hall of Fame. I don't give a fuck. Demolition. Fucking 16-month WWE title reign in an era that lots of tag
teams. How about
teams...
Heart Foundation? The Heart Foundation is another one.
Yeah, our foundation's cool. But look at Demolition, though. Look at Demolition. Demolition were WWE Tag Team Champs for 16 months in an era that a lot of teams could be WWE Tag Team Champs at that time. The Heart Foundations, the Rockers. Maybe you want to think Demolition, why they're not WWE Tag Team Champs? Why the Rockers never been WWE Tag Team Champs? Maybe because Demolition, because they had a long reign.
Plus, everyone knows Demolition, but it's the fact that Smash had a career before that too. Everyone knows that Axe
he did.
Was the mask. Everyone knows that Axe was the masked superstar. Okay, who was one of the biggest stars in the 70s and early 80s, and one of my favorite wrestlers back then. Okay, so he's got history. So they're definitely going to get in, and everyone knows that Smash was one of the Russians in the NWA, and also that stupid gimmick with Repo Man. But they have history. But they're going to get in. There's no question.
Remember they added Questioner?
Yeah, now he's dead.
Crush.
Adam, what was it? What the fuck was his name?
Crush or Crush, wasn't it?
His name is Crush, but his real name, his shoot name.
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams. Yeah, he died. I forget what year, but he's no longer with us. But he ain't getting in.
Hey, those are classic days when they had that storyline when they added Questioner and they're fighting. The three of them. Those are classic days. What about
it was good times. Mr. Fucci managing them, they'll be freaking sweet. But see what happens.
They need to throw a manager in the Hall of Fame this year.
Managers, fuck. I don't want to say Slick, but I can think better than that.
He sucked. He fucking sucked. He's terrible.
Fuck.
No offense.
Fuck.
Slick was terrible.
Theodore Long, especially time in WCW. In WCW, think about remember his career in WCW.
He's with Doom. He had Doom. Which was Ron Simmons and what's his face? Butch Reed, which I love Butch Reed. I could see that.
Yeah.
There's so many. So many that they're get in,
Yeah, there's so many get in. I hope guys like Dean Malenko get in. Probably 50 years from now, Benoit will get in. There's lots of guys going hard.
Question mark right there. That's a fat question mark if fucking Benoit's going to get in.
That's why I said 50 years from now.
I'm going to say this, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says. A guy that I fucking totally respect, and I know he's not even close to remotely close to what he is today, what he used to be, and what a fucking trendsetter he was, and he changed the business. And everyone that fucking jumps over a top rope onto a table would say the same thing. Sabu needs to be put in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's going to get
fucking
in. I think he will
get
it.
If no one respects what that man did, effortlessly, he never fucking hesitated. He would jump off a fucking bridge onto a table that was on fire without blinking out. And he changed the game. Sabu had some, he fucked up a little bit in his life when he got that little WWE run, which I know Vince was high on him, really high on him, and he fucked up. Sabu, what he did away from the WWE, all over this planet, deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Fuck that.
Yeah, he should. He should, and I'm planning to go see him next month at AWS.
What about the Bulldog?
I respect that guy a lot. I said Bulldog.
British Bulldog.
Absolutely.
British Bulldog.
Dynamite Kid. Dynamite Kid, fucking end him. I mean, fuck yeah.
It's a lot of fucking people. Like we can have a whole fucking show talking about Hall of Fame people who should go in. Like I could probably write a whole article of people who should go in.
Yeah, maybe you should put that on your next blog right there, man. Fucking Hall of Fame.
I was thinking about doing a new Rivals. You know how I had my last Rivals blog with Michaels and Bret Hart? I was thinking about doing like a new Rivals one. And plus, I'm bringing back the top 10 next week.
Well, I feel like I'm the only one that's doing it.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back. I know I've been lagging, you know, I've been busy and shit, you know. Like, I be working, like, every fucking day. That's why I've been MIA, too, to all the listeners out there. I'll be on the show Monday, so, and I believe Wednesday, too. I think Wednesday.
Yeah, because my top 10 is not that great right now. I don't even have someone on my top 10 because the only thing I watched this week was WWE. I haven't seen any Ring of Honor or TNA lay, so we'll see what happens.
NXT should be good. Tomorrow, triple threat, Zayn versus Kid versus Breeze.
All right. We'll see what's up. Maybe I'll add all three of them on my list this week. Who knows? You know, shit. And I see what happens on TNA if it's gonna be a good episode or not. So, but you know what? I'm afraid World of Worlds will fucking take the whole portion of my list. Seriously. Adam Cole, Justin Thunder, fucking Okada, AJ, Young Bucks.
Two things, Skips. Kushida versus Jay Lethal for the ROH TV titles is a hidden gem on that card. And Cedric Alexander's off the card.
Hold on, you said Jay Lethal versus who?
What?
Hold on, you said what about Jay Lethal?
Jay Lethal for the ROH TV titles, a hidden gem on that card. And the Okada Cedric Alexander match has been canceled because Cedric Alexander's not on the show. I don't know what he was jumped. He was jumped at the last week's show, so maybe they're saying he's injured. But Okada's going to be put into another match.
You think they wrote him off because of the whole him getting jumped at Global Wars?
That's what I just said. So it kind of sucks for Cedric because this was definitely a high-profile match, probably his highest profile match he'll have in years. It kind of sucks for him, but they're probably going to go with him in a feud in decade. So.
Yeah, I know he just had like a newborn. Maybe he's taking some time off for that.
Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Who knows? See what happens between. You know what? Someone just fucking. Oh my God! Why is he calling so late? The champ is calling late. What the fuck?
Dude, what the fuck?
Hey, I'm just here for the main event and the overrun.
The champ is on, and I'm about to go. Peace out. WH gets Twitter.
Oh, I didn't mean to scare you off.
Oh,
what you got to say, bro? It's good.
I said I didn't mean to scare you off. I didn't know I was that ugly.
You're not that important. You're not that important to talk to. That's why I'm leaving. Goodbye.
All right, got it.
Oh, damn.
I was like, damn, now my voice sounds that ugly? Shit, I didn't even know.
God damn.
I just got done taking over the... Good.
Are you going to defend your title this weekend at ROH's World of Worlds?
Fuck yeah, that's like the biggest thing going on right now.
All right, people, check out our Twitter because we're not going to have time to go through predictions, but we're probably going to go through on Voxer and see our predictions. But follow us on Twitter at WrestlingHeads for you can check out what's going on, the updates of the world title. Maybe I'll be the next champ, So
or Chris.
We got our predictions. Or Chris, because this is his this is like his turf. Ring of Honor is his turf. So last time we did a Ring of Honor prediction for the title, he won. So you don't want to fuck with Chris and Ring of Honor. I don't know if
so if Chris doesn't win, does that mean all the fans are gonna riot?
Probably.
You better watch it. Watch for Costaware. Watch me. My turf. Listen. I'm just excited that I'm fucking going. And I feel fucking blessed and lucky for the fact that I get to see this fucking take place this weekend. So
yeah.
I'm just fucking happy.
Are you leaving Friday night or are you leaving on Friday or what?
Friday morning. I'm gonna get a hotel room, and then right after the show, I'm gonna be driving home.
In New Jersey, I bet, right? Or
my room? Yeah, it's actually right next to where the Giants play.
Damn. Yeah, because I heard it's very expensive staying in New York for one night.
Oh,
so
yeah, I'm not doing that. I've done that. Been there, done that. Not doing it. Stupid. For anyone coming out, always stay in New Jersey. There's actually next to Lincoln. Perfect access. Boom, boom. You're in and out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys, we only got a few minutes left in this show. Maybe it's time for us to give out our plugs. Go ahead, Bruce.
All right, so sorry I got on so late. I just finished taking over the world for the day. So you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Bruce Kraft Jr., Kraft with a K, all one word.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at ROH Code. And I want to thank the Brian Kendrick for being on the show. It was an absolute fucking pleasure to be able to help interview him, and thank you.
Yes, I'd like to thank Brian Kendrick to come on the show as well, and I apologize for calling him a former Knockouts champion. And
wow.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and yeah, I hope I get to see him pretty soon. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can also follow me at Sinister632, and same with Instagram, same name, fine. If I ever post a video on there, check out my blogs and WrestlingHeads.com. Just go on WrestlingHeads.com and look at our fucking updates and stuff like that. And Chris's blog, and if Bruce ever makes one, check his blog out. And,
I might as well put up predictions for this weekend up.
Hurry up and do one.
Yeah.
Yes. And, yeah, check out our stuff. And hopefully Tom will make one, or whatever skits makes a password for him so he can start doing his own blog. Maybe he'll make a blog about Alicia Fox. And, hey. Hey,
wow.
It's not bad for Tom to have something for Alicia Fox. I don't know. He probably has a poster of her in his room.
He has
a poster of her in his room.
That looks great.
He looks good. Yeah, he's some lacy you want to suck on. And I guess till next week, we'll be back and we'll be shooting the shit again. And follow us on Twitter just to keep an update, because you never know who'll be on the next show. Like I said, you never know. And we're done shooting. We're done shooting Toby's face. Until next week.
Wow.
I don't know. I had to say his name.
Yeah, but the funny part was
go to New York. Everybody go to New York. Go to the show.
We're gonna shoot on Toby's face. We're gonna blow a load on Toby's face.
Yeah, I'll leave that to you. I'll leave that to you guys.
You know you want to join, Chris. You know you want to join.
Chris is always down. Chris is always down for that, especially if it gets some ass gas or grass. So.
Chris. It's called a circle jerk.
There you go.
Yeah, but I usually do circle jerks when they have pussy.
All right. Well, in the case of Toby, it'd be either jabroni or curtain jerker. So take your pick.
All right then.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Hold on. Before we go, I gotta say, go Kings, go, and mysterious haha Clippers suck. Late.
Fuck you, suck a dick.